Hello everyone, welcome to the second lesson of our Principles of Finance course, and this lesson will be about perpetuities and annuities. If you are a member of this channel, you will also enjoy a tutorial with solved examples. Okay, let's get started. First of all, let's quickly remember what we learned in the first lesson, which was about the time value of money. In that lesson, basically, we said that when we want to compare cash flows at different points in time, so let's say 0 is now, 1 is, let's say, 1 year ahead, we basically make sure that we move cash flows into the same point, because otherwise we will be comparing apples and oranges. And to do that, we use discounting and compounding, so we introduced the concepts of present value and future value. But we had a single cash flow, let's say $100, maybe 1 year or 1 month in the future. But in reality, we might have multiple cash flows, right? So for example, think of an investment project which might yield different cash flows at different points in time. Now, this we would consider as a stream of cash flow. And in this case, as you can see, the cash flows have different magnitudes, and perhaps there might be years also with no cash flow, so there might be irregularly spaced as well. So for example, maybe there's nothing here and so on. So to find the present value of these cash flows, in this case, is a bit difficult. What you need to do is basically to compute the present value of each cash flow one at a time, and then add them up, right? And that sum gives the present value of this whole stream. But what we will be talking today will be what we call special streams of cash flows, which are perpetuities and annuities, because there are two things special about them. So first is that the cash flows are regular, so they are equally spaced. So they can be each month, each quarter, each year. And second of all, they have a more regular structure. So for example, it might be a constant cash flow. So always, let's say 100 rather than different amounts, right? 100, 100, 100, and so on. And regularly spaced, so no gaps and so on. Or if it's not constant, so if it's not always the same, they will grow at a constant rate. So grow at a constant rate, okay? So it's either a flat cash flow structure, always the same amount, or they will grow at a constant rate. So these are the special stream of cash flows we will consider, and these are perpetuities and annuities. So let's begin with perpetuities. So perpetuities will have this particular structure. So let's say we have a timeline like this. So in the case of an ordinary perpetuity, so we can call this an ordinary one or a regular one or even a flat one, we always have the same cash flow, okay? And what is special about this is that this never stops, right? So there's an infinite number of cash flow payments occurring one period at a time. Again, this can be a year, it can be a month, it doesn't matter. The main thing is that they have to be equally spaced. And also notice that in this case, we have actually no cash flow at time 0. The first cash flow is occurring at time 1. So how do you find the present value of this perpetuity? It has a very simple formula, and it basically comes from a series in mathematical series where you take t to the infinity, because t is the time subscript here, and if you simplify that formula in the limit as t goes to infinity, the present value of this cash flow becomes a very simple expression where c is the amount of this cash flow and r is our discount rate, our interest rate, okay? So typical example of perpetuities, for example, there are what we call console bonds. So these are sort of government bonds with no perpetuities. Sometimes they're also known as perpetual bonds as well. And also often preferred stock can be modeled like this as well, because preferred stock sits somewhere in between common stock and debt, and it has a fixed dividend stream. So perpetuities fit nicely to model preferred stock as well. Okay. So this is, like I said, a regular perpetuity. But we could also have what we call a growing perpetuity. So again, we start with a cash flow C, but next time around, it grows and it becomes C times 1 plus G. And then the next period, again, we compound at one more period. So C times 1 plus G to the power 2. So G here is our growth rate, and we are compounding, right? C to the power 1 plus G4, and it keeps growing, okay? So this you can think of here, and here we just assume this is just C. You could in fact even think of this as 1 plus G to the power 0. That would be simply 1 as well. So how about the present value of this growing perpetuity? So this we call a growing perpetuity, okay? So again, the formula is quite simple. We'll just need a very small modification and introduce the growth rate G here. So this, in fact, is a special case of this formula, so where G is 0, okay? So this is growing perpetuity, and if G is 0, right, we end up with a special case where we have an ordinary perpetuity. So let's do a quick example just to illustrate how the formula works. In the tutorial, there are more examples. So if you're a member, you can access that. And also, free for everyone, if you go to our website, you can find an easy to use perpetuity calculator as well. So you can double check your calculations. So, but let's first go read through the example. So, and in this case, we will basically be looking at a very simple stock valuation model based on constant dividend growth, right? So the company will be paying a stream of cash flows, right? So this is the stream we are going to be looking at. So this is now, so let's say next year. So next year it is expected to grow. So it's expected to pay a dividend of $2 per share. So this is our first cash flow. And then it will grow at a constant rate of 5%. So this will be $2 times 105. Okay, then in year 3, this will be $2 times 105 squared, and so on. Okay, so clearly what we have is a growing perpetuity here. So its present value is C over R minus G. C is $2. So this is our cash flow amount, which is the dividend per share. R is given in the question as 10%. In this case, it's our cost of equity or required rate of return. So I need to put 0.1 here, and minus the growth rate is given as 5%. So it is 0.05. So if you do this calculation, I believe this should be equal to $40. So this stock, which pays $2 dividends growing at 5% on an annual basis, with a discount rate of, or cost of equity 10%, should be worth $40 in the market today. Okay, so this is a very nice, simple application of the perpetuity formula, a growing perpetuity formula, in fact. Okay, in the second part of this lesson, we'll learn about annuities. This will be just the next video in this course. See you there.